Okay, so first of all, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know you're very busy. We're really looking forward to having you in Cyprus, and it still feels very surreal to us that you're coming to Cyprus in person. So we're going to have you on the 23rd of October 2023 giving us a talk, a 6-hour talk. Can you tell us a little bit what that will include?
So this talk is an introduction to working with emotion. Now, emotional processing has become a very central concept now in psychotherapy. So I'm going to talk about what emotional processing means and how to facilitate this process. I will talk about really working directly with emotion. I will talk about the principles of working with emotion. I'll also talk about how important the relationship and empathy is for working with emotion, especially empathic attunement to affect. So this is going to involve a description of how to work moment by moment in a process-oriented way to try to help people arrive at emotion, accept emotion that they're having difficulty, that they disown or disclaim. But not only am I going to be talking about accepting emotion, I have a phrase, you have to arrive at a place before you can leave it. So we have to help people arrive at emotions that are difficult for them, but just acceptance is not enough. They also then have to leave the emotion. So I talk about transforming emotion, and that one of the best ways of changing emotion is with another emotion. But this is quite a new principle of how to work with emotion. So I will be talking about all this of how to process emotion, about the transforming power of affect, that emotion seems to be very important in the change process, that you have to really feel something to change something. And then this talk, I will talk a little bit about methods, like a two-chair dialogue for self-criticism, to show how you can use psychodramatic enactments. That means you actually do things in the therapy hour using imagination or enactments in chair dialogues. So these are the kinds of things. But I'll talk about emotion assessment, principles of emotional change, a little bit about how to do a case formulation from an emotion-focused perspective. And then I'll talk a little bit about methods and technique for actually activating emotion and transforming it.
Mm-hmm. So this idea of actually activating emotion in order to transform it, sounds that this is going to be the essence of the talk, right?
Exactly. Many people talk about emotional processing in the field now, but it's not really specified. So we've done a lot of work on looking at how do people actually change at the emotional level. And the basic idea is activating emotion, reflecting on emotion to make sense of it, and then bringing in a new emotion to change an old emotion. Mm. So we've done a lot of research over 4 decades, shown that emotion-focused therapy is effective in the treatment of depression, anxiety, trauma, and a variety of things. But we've, even more importantly, shown that specific processes lead to specific outcomes. So we've done a lot of research relating process to outcome. And the talk will be based on an evidence-based approach.
Mm-hmm. And by process, you mean that clients need different things at different time in order to be able to access emotion and to then help them transform the emotion. That's
right. They need to be doing and going through different things at different times in the session.
yes.
And for example, you need to work with a self-critical process to help people express their underlying shame, but also eventually to get to their compassion to themselves. So we've shown that a chair dialogue that leads to an accessing of the shame and then an accessing of compassion leads to a resolution at the end, of feeling integrated and self-accepting. So we've shown that there's a particular process that leads to change.
So activating, regulating, evoking emotion. Right. Okay. Sounds very interesting. I'm very intrigued. And you told us you're going to show videos from real clients.
Right. So this will definitely be supported by videos, because I think you actually have to see these processes to really begin to understand them. And this workshop will be appropriate to all mental health workers, people who work with emotion. So it could include people who work with people. They don't have to be only psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, and nurses. I mean, they can be teachers who work with children and so on. So it will be broad, but also very helpful to mental health workers.
Excellent, excellent. We cannot wait to welcoming you in Cyprus in person. People are very excited to see you and meet you in person. And
thank you. And I look forward to coming to Cyprus, where I've never been.